Hi, my name is Anna Matesiame. I'm Program Manager at CYLA-Zambia.
And I am Inonge Smakumba, Assistant Coordinator at CYLA-Zambia.
So, the Center for Young Leaders in Africa has been implementing a program called Young Women in Politics. The whole essence of this program is to amplify the voices of young women in politics. We have noted through our programming that we have a good number of young people that are participating in the civic space as well as politics. Despite the challenges, they continue to thrive and find strategies for them to be able to be recognized in this very senior and elderly dominated space.
Look out for a podcast where we feature 16 of our beautiful ladies as they express their experiences as young women in politics in the Zambian space. They talk about their challenges that they've faced as young women in politics, as well as the reasons why they think that young women should claim their space in the political space.
Also look out for 2 documentaries that target young women that have excelled and hold political position, as well as some of the participants from the Young Women in Politics program. Shadow them in their constituencies and some of their awards. So look out for this very exciting programming. We have a series of podcasts that will be coming to you each week.
See you soon and subscribe to our channel.
Sure. Hi everyone, welcome to the Young Women in Politics podcast. We have dedicated this podcast to amplifying the voices of young women in politics. We're going to learn from their stories, the experiences that they have. And so we have some amazing ladies here with you. And my name is Anna Siame. I am your host on this podcast. So with me I have Precious Phiri, very interesting young lady. She's a model, an entrepreneur, and also a political activist. So we can't wait to hear from her. She'll give us detail of the things that she does. I also have Rachel Hamahwa, who is also an entrepreneur and a politician, actually contested elections. So very interesting young women with me here today, and let's get into their stories. But before we go any further, please remember to subscribe, like, and share this podcast with as many people as you can. We want the stories and voices of these young women to be able to be shared with many more people, so that the political space that is mostly dominated by men can be able to attract young women into the space, so that they are able to represent themselves and be able to deal with many of the challenges that young women face that mostly we are going to be able to get into and deal with on this podcast. So, let's get to you, Precious. Please tell us about yourself.
First of all, I'd like to thank you, Anna, for having us. I must say it's a pleasure and a privilege to be here. Like you said, my name's Phiri Precious. I'm a very passionate model. I'm a political activist, I'm an entrepreneur, and I also advocate for the welfare of women. I've always been passionate about politics ever since I was young. I've also been passionate about modeling ever since I was young. But these are 2 careers that our society perceive to not complement each other. Right. Most people perceive my 2 careers to not really complement each other, because our society believes you can't be in the art because art is all about entertainment, and then you also can't be in politics if you're in art because politics needs more serious people. But I think in my journey into politics and modeling, I've been able to defy the odds that people have said, to say you can't do this because of that. So yeah, I think I've ventured into politics because I believe politics gives me a seat at the table where decisions are being made. Right. And I would also like to tell the people that apparently modeling and politics can complement each other, because modeling, it's all about leadership as well. You advocate for policies, but I've been able to go an extra mile to also venture into politics, because I did not only want to advocate for policies, I wanted a seat at a table where those policies are implemented and made.
Yeah, very interesting. Wow, I see. it makes a lot of sense that modeling actually does complement politics, and
It
why
does.
you should really go and
people
have a
don't know
seat.
that they complement each other
Right,
because they're
because
both about leadership.
Very, very true. Because every time you wear a crown, you start to advocate. You have to find areas that you're passionate about and then advocate and lobby for changes in those areas. So it makes a lot of sense. Very interesting. So, Rachel, you're also, like the two of you, it's very interesting, like very sort of like unconventional paths that you have taken, being here in Zambia, like for one to modeling, and I know you are in the arts. So please tell us more about yourself and the things that you do.
Well, my name is Rachel Hamahwa. I contested, yes, in the 2016 elections as councillor, Mulungushi Ward 18. That was under the FDD party. Well, I got my inspiration from my older sister. Well, I've also done the arts, music, acting, and a little of some Latin dances.
Wow.
Yes, it was very interesting being picked to contest for Mulungushi Ward under the FDD. By then, it was one of the fastest growing parties. Well, my experience with that was very amazing because I got to know the problems that the youths were facing. I got to interact with so many youths. I got to learn their problems. I got to see what I can do as a leader when I'm elected. It was a very nice experience, very amazing experience, yes.
I guess it's one thing to look at politics from the outside, but to actually have real first-hand experience in an election, interact with the people at the grassroots, that must be something. That should have really propelled you to want to. So do you still have ambitions? Are you going to contest the next election, for example?
Well, ambitions of contesting again, I think no. What I feel I should do now is brand other politicians, because I feel that's where my interest has gone to, because most of the youths just think politics is just going to radio stations and just talking and this but there's more to it. There's how one should relate with people on the ground. There's a certain personality that you need to have on the ground. There's a certain behavior that you need to have on the ground as a candidate, as a contestant. It's not like just waking up and just going and talk to people. There's a certain way you need, because there are different types of people. We have Christians there, we have the elders, so there's a certain approach that you need to have when going door to door and talking to these people. So I feel when it comes to branding, I would do better than being a candidate.
Okay,
yes.
So that's what you took from your experience.
Yes, I took that.
Okay, so you went on the ground, participated in politics, then you brought in some of these skills based on the experience that you had going in. And so you look out and say, oh, so many people need these skills. It's one thing to contest, but there are skills that should accompany you when it comes to political campaign and the like. That's very impressive, very interesting.
Yes, and this adds up also to the program that I partook with the YOWOP. We had a session where we had storytelling and branding, and that also just made me have more confidence in that, because we had people that came in to tell us about branding and how to go about it and how it can be done. And so I feel I'm better for branding than being a candidate.
Oh,
yes.
Very interesting. Precious. Yeah, so coming to you, I think I can say for a fact that you're going to stand in the next election. I almost feel like I can feel your passion. It almost feels like you are ready.
I'm very much ready.
So do you have ambitions? Are you contesting the next election?
I actually have ambitions to contest in the next elections, but I'm just not sure which position I should go for. But for sure, I want to get a seat that will enable me represent my people and represent the goal that I carry, so that I can serve my people better. I surely have ambitions of standing in the next elections.
Okay. All right. So what's the plan going forward? So for example, like, what are you doing for yourself? So in terms of like branding, in terms of, because I think this is also a gap that we've noticed for many young women. So how do you stand out for you to be identified in the political realm, in the political space? How do you then now grab that, the mantle and take yourself in the space? What's the plan?
I think first of all, because most of my friends and the people, they know me to be a model. They don't know me as a politician. So I'm trying to slowly twist the narrative of trying to brand myself more as a politician than a model. And in my branding, apparently I'm effectively using social media, which has been very helpful to show the people that I can go beyond my modeling duties. I can also do political duties and contribute to the nation in a political way. So I've been using social media, I've been using radio, I've been using TV, I've been using newspaper to speak out on issues that affecting the nation, political issues, political scandals, political situation. So on that part, I'm really working on my branding. And in my branding, I'm also trying to emphasize the fact that a model, someone who's also in the arts industry, they can also be in the political industry. Because if democracy has to work in Zambia, we have to have equal representation from all sectors of life and all sectors of the population. Right. So I'm really working on my branding, and I'm trying to brand myself more as a politician than as a model.
Mm-hmm. So what are your thoughts on more young people entering the space, like yourself?
I think it's a must that more young people should enter the political space. It's a must because Zambia's population, the majority are the young people. And if we don't have young people to represent us in the political spheres, then our needs will not be met. I believe the challenges that the youth of Zambia face, if they have to be adequately and effectively be addressed, I think we need more young people in the political spheres. And if we don't have more young people in the political spheres or in the political tables or political leadership, I think we will always be crying for handouts every day, because I think these are some of the political schemes that are being played in Zambia, where people are refusing to give the youths a table at tables where decisions are being made, but rather they would rather, let's say, use the youth in violence or maybe use youths in other sort of malices. But I think it's high time we take up our space as youth. We should demand a seat. We should demand a share at a table of leadership. If our needs, they have to be properly and effectively represented.
Yeah, I like that. I think it goes beyond voting, right?
It goes beyond voting.
I think the Zambian youth did a very good job in the last election in terms of turning out to vote. Many young people were involved at the ballot. But it's time that we start seeing more young people also go into actual politics so that they can sit at the decision-making table and participate like you want to. So what are some of the issues that young people face? I think from maybe economically, you can look at social issues. Like, what are some of the issues that you've really identified, where maybe your passions stem from, and those are the things that you are going to address if you were to be given a seat or, political office? What are some of the issues? So maybe Rachel, you can, start, and then we'll go to Precious.
To issues that we're facing, it's not only with the young people, because when we say young people, this includes the males and females. But then when it comes to politics, I think, and it's like women are the most vulnerable. Women and who are youths, because there's so many things that happen. We have harassments. We have this and this going on. So I think there's need for advocacy. Like we are here with my colleague Precious. We are advocating for youths to be in power, to be in offices, young women to be in offices. So I feel there's so much that needs to be done for us to see to it that women and youths, young women and youths are into the political space and claiming our position, and amplifying our voices. Yes.
I think some of the biggest challenges that the youths of our country face, first of all, is lack of finances. Secondly, unemployment. Then thirdly, lack of experience. I think the reason why most of the elderly people who have the power, who are in the position of power, the reason why they deter from giving us a platform is because they believe young people are inexperienced, or let's say they don't have experience to lead. But I think it's high time we support programs that aims at teaching young people on leadership skills, so that we, the youth, can be equipped with the leadership skills that are necessary or that are needed, so that when the old people, they hold on their position and they blame lack of experience as the reason why they can't give us a table at a table where decisions are being made. We'll tell them, apparently we've been trained, we have the skills, so what other excuse can you give? And then the second challenge that I feel the youths are facing is lack of finances. You know, most of the youths, this is when we are starting up in life. Probably we don't have proper employment, we don't have a proper income source. And I believe this is a time where we should empower the youths. Let's train the youths not only to seek for white collar jobs, but also to make them employment creators. And coming from a person who's had an experience in the art industry, I think it's high time we also tell the youth, say, apparently you can be your own source of income. You can use your talent, you can use your other skills that you've earned in order to build yourself financially. So those are the challenges that I think the youth are facing, and those are the challenges that I would like to address if given a platform.
Very.
And just to add on what she's saying,
Right.
this is the part where we also need, as youth, we need mentors. We need these mentors to come and show us, to come and tell us and show us how to go about everything. Because it's not right that the elders should just hold position, yet youths, we are just sitting back. We need these mentors to help us out, to mentor us on, like she says, on finances. We need mentors to help us on how to lobby for finances as well. Because as youths, it's not like we have finances right now, and the jobs that we have, you know, it's entrepreneurship, and you find that you cannot get connections. You cannot get connections to maybe supply things that you are supposed to supply. You don't have anywhere to take your goods, and then what we seek is mentorship on how to lobby for friends, and mentorship on leadership as well.
Right,
Yes.
right. Yeah, so a good point I think that you've brought out on mentorship, good solutions to some of the challenges and identification of the challenges that are faced, especially in arts. Because I mean, we've seen that even in other countries, let's not even go far, even African countries, where the arts, for example, is a huge source of, it brings economic value to the country. And I think Zambia can also really tap into that. And if you have young people who are passionate going into the political space and bringing the right policies in place that can be able to create a base for young artists to be able to rise and contribute to the economic base of the country, that's very positive. The note on mentorship, maybe like just for us to understand, like, because I think you've made strides to be where you are. You've run for an election. You've participated. Tell us maybe some of the leadership positions that you've held so far. Have you had mentorship? Have you had people before you, people have gone before you that have mentored you this far?
Honestly, what I can say is life has been my mentor. I've used experience to be my mentor. Just to elaborate more on my experience in modeling, in my modeling leadership, and then I'll further go to my political leadership. First of all, in modeling, I didn't really have people who could mentor me. I just used life experience, and probably I always tell people, or maybe upcoming models, to say I had to lose 5 times for me to win my first ever title, and each time I lost, I didn't give up. I had to make sure that I use the experience that I had from my previous contest or pageant in order to better my next pageant that I'll be competing in. And then coming to leadership, I started my political activism in 2018, I remember. And believe me, it was very challenging. Starting from, I had to face harassment. I had to face where people would, just discriminate you for the fact that you are a model. They think you're not into politics to serve the people, but probably are just there to get the attention of men. So that's one of the biggest challenges I've ever faced. But I made sure that each and every position I was given to contest in, I made sure I did my best. I campaigned, and I've served in various portfolios in the Patriotic Front branch, and in other student leadership positions.
Yeah, see, she's okay. You've held various positions. You see, that's interesting, and without formal mentorship. And I think that's a space that's also very important. It's important that we get mentors. Okay. But one other important aspect you've brought up is the strength to be able to get up from a fall. And I think that's experience that you take also to politics.
Yes.
Because just because you don't win sometimes the first time. I mean, there are unique situations where you go in, but these are, you need to contest, especially with the different challenges that you face. You go in, you don't make it, and some people stay down. How do you pick yourself up and have the zeal to be able to do it again?
This is where you have to have resiliency. As if it doesn't happen for the first time, why should I sit back and say, okay, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm not going to do this anymore. This is where you need to be so confident, believe in yourself, believe in what you want to do, believe in life's opportunities. Yes.
Interesting. And then, so she talked about some of the challenges, like harassment, where you are harassed as a young woman, you go into politics and people look at, you want attention from men. How was it for you, the first time standing in the election? Did you face some of these challenges, or how did you overcome those kinds of challenges?
Well, honestly, for me, when it came to harassment challenges, I did not face them at all. Because at that point, we only had 3 contestants for that ward, and it was just the 3 main parties. There was Party A and Party B. So it was like, for my own party, it was just like I was independent to do anything. I was allowed to do anything, because for Party A and Party B, it was hell in a cell. Like, each time they met, it was fighting and fighting. But on my part, I did not face any harassment. I did not face anything that would hold me back. The only challenges I faced was from my party. Yes, just from my party. You know how it is with these politics, like, okay, you fall in, and once you just fall in and you have support from no one, and it just ends there. Once you just fall in, and okay, like for instance, I fall in under a certain party, and once I'm just done with that, and it's like I'm abandoned. So this is why we say we need mentors, we need financial mentors to come and help us, so that we can stand our ground. We can stand our ground, we can be independent and campaign the way we want to campaign, and touch all areas that we need to touch, because if we have that financial independence on our own, we are able to do wonders. Yes.
Oh, okay, so that's interesting. Good on your part. So for you, Precious, you talked about, facing harassment, but you kept pushing, How did you, get that, have the zeal? Because some people give up. And that's the reason that some young women don't want to enter the political space, because of harassment and those kinds of ordeals. How do you overcome that?
At the end of the day, I'm a person who doesn't easily accept defeat, unless probably maybe my strength is drained to the last core. It's all about knowing what you want from what you're doing. It's all about having goals, having ambitions. So I use each and every setback that people tried to create for me as my motivation to prove them wrong. And on the aspect of harassment, I stood on my ground. Sometimes people, I can give an example. Like she said, there are sometimes when you want a mentor, but other people, when you approach them, say, okay, can you mentor me? Show me the way. What should I do? Where should I go? Others will start asking for sexual favors from you. But at the end of the day, I think even the men, the perpetrators of this harassment, once you show them that you are someone who doesn't give in easily and that you can stand on your ground, they back off, they refrain. And then the more you bring out a strong personality, the more respect and fear that people will have for you. Not like fear in a bad way, but they will be afraid to approach you, let's say for sexual favors, and they're like, especially when they know that you are a strong personality person and you stand on your ground. So that's how I've been able to manage the harassment and other challenges that I've faced in my political sphere.
Mm-hmm. All right, it's very, very interesting. So I think it takes a lot. I think from your experiences, there are certain things that you've gone through,
it takes a lot.
Others that you have, others experiences you have not shared. So I think it's very important that there should be a lot of collaboration amongst young women. So what's your take on collaboration in the political space, especially amongst young women?
There's need for unity. Of course, we might come from different parties. We might we might have different ideologies or different thoughts on it, but there's need for unity. You see, I'll give you an example of what happened to me in 2016. Well, it was a week to elections, and this my fellow contender, that was from a certain party, what he did was he went to cover all my posters and said, this person has defected, she's no longer contesting. It was such a blow. Well, but I had, these people from other parties that came through to comfort me. It was so like in unity, forgetting regardless of which political parties we belong to, regardless of our race of ideas that we have. But when it comes to such things that really pull you down, they were there to comfort me because of the unity that was there. So I think also in politics there's need for that. As much as we can have different ideas, different feelings, different thoughts, but there's just a certain time we can have conflicts, yes, and disputes, yes, but there's just at a certain point of time we need to have that unity, yes, to sort things out.
Wow, that's very important. And those are some of the like real challenges that you face on the ground, right? Someone just goes and covers all your campaign posters and says you're not contesting. That's something. And for people from other parties to come and support you, for you, wow, that's very...
It was a huge blow, a very huge blow. Imagine just a week to elections and that just happens. Yes, and it was cause after cause after cause. But anyway, we thank God. We are here, still strong.
So more collaboration in the space, yes. Very, very important.
And I think we should also get rid of the misconception to say women don't support women. Women do support women when they see potential.
Right.
Believe me, once you show the women that you are able to represent them, you are able to contribute. I can assure you, women really do support women, because I think in my political journey, I've been helped by women. I've also been helped by men. I can't say men are bad people. There are some genuine people who have really helped me with good intentions and without asking for any favors. So I think we should also not try to lobby support from only women just because we're women, but we should support. We should lobby for support from all sectors of the societies, and just show the nation, the world, that apparently I'm capable, I'm able, I can contribute, I'm effective, I can be able to respond to your needs. And believe me, people will always support you once you show them what you are really made of.
For sure, women are capable, and it's very important that you show your agency, you know, the fact
and
that...
response to people's needs.
Right,
and it also takes, let's say, for example, you don't have to like do something big. You can just even start from your community. Let's say, for example, you hear in the next door neighbor there's a problem. You can also try to help here and there, trying to do voluntary work in the community. People are able to say this person is dedicated and they're up for the service.
So it's all about your relevance. Your relevance in every space that
to make yourself relevant at any point. It starts from where you stay, your house, your neighbor, and you can extend the relevance to the community and the nation at large.
Yes, and your relevance can be anywhere. You know, we have these communities that we have problems that are being faced. For example, I would say maybe like right now, the trending thing is drug abuse. You see, I don't have to wait for 2026 to go and contest and I should look at that matter. No. It starts now. It starts with me now. If I can see, I can help out. Let's say when it comes to drug abuse, alcohol abuse and everything, it doesn't have to be an MP, the sitting MP right now. It doesn't have to be a councillor. Me as a person, I should go there and see what I can do. Yes.
And
we all have a duty.
And just adding on to what she says, you don't have to wait for a bigger platform in order for you to be relevant. I can give an example. My main goal in the political sector is to make the world, the community, a conducive place for women to thrive in. And I'm a very passionate activist for the welfare of women. And recently we have been having the growing number of defilement cases. I think I should not wait until I'm MP, until I'm minister, until I'm a councillor in order to address these cases. I remember there's an issue of a girl, two girls aged 10 and 8 who are recently defiled. I think it was all over social media. I took it up upon myself and other leaders to actively, bring an outcry on social media to make sure that the person who did that offense was brought to book. And believe me, it really made me happy to see the person who did that to those girls being arrested. Like, it made me feel important knowing that I contributed to something positive in my community.
Yeah, so it's what we do every day, and we all have a duty. We have civic responsibility where we stay in our environments, in our communities. Absolutely brilliant. I love this conversation, and I told you, like, these are powerhouses. We have capable leaders amongst our young women who can be able to make it in our political sphere. Absolutely amazing. I wish you guys all the best. And I hope that you can continue to champion your causes and do what you can in your spaces. Yeah, so this is where we end. Unless you have any last remarks, we close here.
Well, as for me, I would like to say thank you for this interview. Thank you to YOWOP. And I would like to encourage each and every woman out there who's feeling low, who thinks they cannot be in the political space. Any young person there who thinks they are not going to be relevant in the political space. No, you are relevant. We need you, and time is now. The order's gone, so we need to look at the new. We need to look at Imistepela now. This is our time. This is your time, my time, and all young people and youths.
All right.
Please join politics.
For sure.
My last words to the women and the youths: for democracy to work, for gender equality to be achieved, we need women in leadership. We need youths in leadership.
Right.
And as long as you are reluctant, we the youths, we the women are reluctant to take up these leadership roles, we'll always be crying out to the government to address our needs. And believe me, our needs cannot be fully addressed if we don't have proper representation in parliament, in leadership. And I must say, it's been a pleasure being here, and thank you to YOWOP for giving me this platform. And I would also like to urge the government to support such causes where young women are being trained to take up leadership spaces. Thank you so much.
I couldn't have said it any better than that. So thank you for having us, and thank you for watching. Wherever you're watching from, please remember to like, share, subscribe to this podcast. We have more podcasts coming to you where we talk to more young women participating in the political space. Thank you and goodbye.